the dates for nomination of candidates for local government councils elections, including special interest groups, that youth, persons with disabilities and older elections, which was initially
sente zonna zaba baziteekawa ebyo emizindalo gyala betuwa mu sente obumbi n'obumbi baba okuteeka ebyokulonda twasobola nafuna mizindalo gyogera kiri Uganda Byabakama tusobola kufuna mizindalo givaamu na ddoboozi givumbera buvumbeezi so naye atya okumuwa obutwa kolola nabo omuzindalo asobola gufujjako,
which was initially scheduled to commence on the 3rd of September 2025 and conclude on 12th September for all the different levels of elective positions in the local government. However, the Commission has deemed it prudent to disaggregate or to break up the different levels of local government council elections, and we have now rescheduled the nominations for those levels in each category as follows. For district or city chairpersons, including Lord Mayor and councillors, for the city or district, the nominations for that category will be conducted from Wednesday, 3rd September 2025 to Friday, 5th September 2025 at the offices of the respective district or city returning officers. I want you to note this. That category number 1. Leaders vying for district chairperson or Lord Mayor in the city, councillors at the district or city, their nomination is from 3rd to 5th September this year. Nomination venue, the district or city returning officer's office. Second category, municipality or city division chairpersons and councillors, those vying for the post or position of municipality or city division chairperson and councillors. Their nominations will take place from 8th September to 10th September 2025 at the respective offices of the district or positions of chairpersons and councillors at sub-county or town or municipal divisions. Their nominations will be conducted from 11th to 24th September this year, excluding nominations will take place from 11th September to 24th September this year, excluding the weekend. And the nomination venue will be the county headquarters. The nomination forms and guidelines for district councillors, municipal councillors, and sub-county councillors elections will be collected from the respective district or city electoral commission offices starting on Monday 11th of August. So all those who are vying for the various categories of elective positions in local governments, which I've read above, approach the offices of our offices, the Electoral Commission offices in the districts, beginning with 11th of August, which is Monday next week. Then the nomination forms for district chairpersons, all those who are vying for the position of district chairperson or mayor, city mayor, they will access the nomination forms by downloading them from the Electoral Commission website. Because we think since these ones are supposed to have minimum A level or its equivalent or above, they can download from our website these nomination forms. Our website is https://www.ec.or.ug. These ones can also start downloading these forms from Monday, 11th of August, 2025. The second adjustment or category of elections where we have made an adjustment is parliamentary elections. Those who are vying for membership in parliament. We have adjusted the period for nominations of candidates for parliamentary elections, including special interest groups, that is youth, persons with disabilities, and older persons who are vying for parliament. The youth, older persons, persons with disabilities who are vying for parliament as well. And then the directly elected members of parliament, women members of parliament, which we had earlier scheduled to take place on the 16th of September, 16th to 17th September of this year. Remember when we last held a press conference here, we said nominations for those vying for parliament will be on the 16th and 17th. But now we have adjusted the program, and the nominations will now take place from Wednesday 15th October to Thursday 16th October 2025. For parliament, all those vying for parliament at whatever category, their nominations will take place on the 15th and 16th of October 2025 at the respective district or city returning officer's office. The nomination forms and guidelines for parliamentary elections will also be accessed by downloading from the Electoral Commission website, which I've cited above, starting on Monday, 11th August 2025 as well. Those who are also download the nomination forms. And those vying for district chairperson are reminded, according to the law, you are required to get the number of signatures or supporters from at least 2/3 of the electoral area, that is the district. Now, the other announcement we want to inform the people of Uganda is with regard to the nominations for presidential candidates. As we mentioned earlier in the previous press briefing, we adjusted the nominations for presidential candidates to the 23rd and 24th of September, as we mentioned earlier. However, the Commission has designated the period from Monday, 11th August, for all those vying to contest for the office of the President to collect nomination forms and the forms for the signatures of supporters for their contest or for their aspirations. During this, the presidential aspirants will collect the following documents. 1, the nomination forms. Secondly, the supporter forms, which are to be used for collecting signatures of not less than 100 registered voters from at least 2/3 of all the districts in Uganda, in accordance with the law. All those vying for president, you are required to collect signatures of not less than 100 supporters from 2/3 of the districts. Each district of the 2/3 should give you 100 supporters or above, whichever, but not below 100. And when you compute 2/3 in the current number of districts in the country, that's about 98 districts. So every presidential aspirant is required to gather supporters from 100 supporters from 98 districts of the country per district. The third document they will pick is the guidelines for nomination and other related activities. The presidential aspirants are, however, reminded to submit the documents bearing the names and signatures of their supporters, the 100 supporters, to the commission at least 2 weeks prior to the nomination date. The presidential aspirants are reminded to submit those documents having the names and signatures of the 100 or supporters from each 98 districts at least 2 weeks before the nomination date. The reason for this is that the commission is supposed to verify whether the names you have put on these forms as your support are authentic, are they registered voters or not. The supporters should be registered voters in that district. In that district, the 100 names of supporters should be registered voters in that district. So the commission therefore requires ample time to verify, to go through each of these lists, each of these names, and confirm whether they are indeed registered voters in the districts which you have indicated on the form. So that's why we are reminding and we are urging all aspirants, presidential aspirants, to make sure they submit these forms at least 2 weeks before nomination. That is around 10th of September. By 10th September, we expect all the presidential aspirants to have submitted these forms. Now, for presidential aspirants, the collection of these forms and guidelines physically here at the Electoral Commission head offices. This will not be downloaded. We ask the presidential aspirants or their agents to come and pick these forms and guidelines here at headquarters. Beginning with the 11th of August, which is Monday, from 8 to 5 p.m. on each working day, not weekends. The reason for the physical collection of the forms by presidential aspirants or their agents or political party is to allow the commission to identify and document the presidential aspirants and notify the relevant authorities across the country to expect them in the field and not hinder them or obstruct them, but rather render them the necessary support. That's why we want to know so and so has picked forms, and then we notify the local leadership, because at times when political actors go out in the field to gather signatures of citizens, we are told at times that they are either hindered or obstructed, or they ask them all sorts of questions. So when we know that Sejemba has gone to the field to get the names of supporters, we shall alert the local authorities that don't disturb Mr. Sejemba.
Now, why disturb somebody? Why? Yet he's a Ugandan, and we are supposed to do what we want to do. You know, someone wants to be a president and must seek for permission from police, from electoral commission to go and correct the emikono gya abamusemba. Chiri Uganda. Muamala. So we notice them that you are there. So if you don't notice them, why are they stopping me? Why are they stopping me to move around the country? Am I not a Ugandan? That I'm not supposed to move around the country to do whatever I want to do? Perhaps it's not harming anybody?
An individual intended to collect the nomination forms and supporter forms on behalf of a political party or organization must present written proof of authorization. We know political parties have their flag bearers, and therefore the political party may opt to come and pick the forms on behalf of their flag bearer. So please send an authorized person, and this authorization must be issued by the Secretary General of the political party or organization or any designated official. Similarly, aspirants who intend to contest as independent presidential candidates and seek to collect nomination forms and supporter forms must present proof of registration as voters, because we don't want jokers. If you are not a registered voter, you cannot contest as for any office in the land, either as president or councillor or mayor. So if you are coming in your individual capacity as a presidential aspirant, you prove to us that you're a registered voter, because you might be just a joker who is just playing around with our time and our stationery. The Commission would like to thank all stakeholders in the electoral processes for the support you have given us so far in the implementation of the roadmap. The Commission particularly appreciates the voters who fall under the special interest groups, that is, older persons, PWDs, and the youth, for their participation in the ongoing electoral program for the election of their groups, committees from the village to the national level. We continue to call on all stakeholders to take note of the remaining and ongoing activities on the roadmap and to participate in those activities following the guidelines for the same. A soft copy of the roadmap is available on our Electoral Commission website, which I read out above. I thank you for listening to me. I say this for God and my country.
Is this an independent electoral commission or it's a Museveni electoral commission?
Chairperson of the commission will now take.
Let me tell you, whatever he is saying, he is saying it under influence. These are orders from General Museveni that they want to eliminate some people. They want to put some bagotekawo obubadde oba obujogoli obuyinza okulemesa abantu abamu. Okitegedde? How can we prevent some people? How can we put some limits? Okulaba nga babalemesa okutuukiriza ebyo mulina okutuukiriza mu budde, era babawo obudde mubeerenga nga mukolaki nga mwenyoola. They want someone to bring in papers and they say, oh, these are not registered voters. They can disqualify you because of that. You just wait and see.
The chair public would like to know whether these biometric machines which you are going to use in the upcoming election are illegally stated in our books of law, or is an optional? Number two, the general public, they are also inquisitive. There is a saying that this machine only work when you are having internet, you have internet around you. Is it true, or you are going to fix some register within that machine and start working whenever you want? The third question, Lord Chair, is about our internet strength in up countries. According to NITA-U, the internet we have, internet capability in Uganda only cover 40%, which means when you are in Kalangala or any other remote area, village remote area, it's most likely not to work. The first question is about the in science of internet. There is what they call back-end user. Back-end user. They know who is hosting you. Are you in charge of hosting the internet in your obligations, like someone is tarrying, but you are the one hosting yourself, or someone else somewhere in foreign land is the one hosting electoral commission? Because some time back we realized government was furious with the social media user and downsize the Facebook user, which means if you don't have internet, rather via VPN, you can't use it in Uganda. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Let me ask Gertrude, please come.
abuuza ebibuuzo biki tebitegere tebigatta bulungi.
Gertrude Muchala is one of the sign language interpreters. So let's take Richard. After Richard, are you both Richards? Oh no, okay, Richard. Yes.
Thank you, Lord Chair. I didn't hear. My name is Richard Olweny from NBS TV. I didn't hear clear the justification for the so many changes. And then, why is the Electoral Commission troubleshooting? You have handled elections before. You have a very senior team that has been involved in this team. But each other day, you're doing last-minute changes. Scary.
Yeah, beautiful.
Thank you, Lord Chair. My name is Mjikra Xavier. I work for Inaman FM. Lord Chair, the public would like to know the price amount for each of the positions during the nomination period, and when is that money needed? During picking of forms or after?
Thank you, Chairman. My name is Hussein Samuel from the Daily Monitor. I had three, but my colleague from NBS asked the one of reasons for changing the dates. I want to understand for how long will the presidential candidates be picking the nomination forms, and also we are organizing elections. The public would like to understand how many voters do we have? How many people did you register to vote this time around? Thank you.
In all these polls which are coming. And I know there are some people who are supposed, especially public servants, are supposed to have retired to take part in these elections. Will this affect their resignation, or some have not yet registered, sir? Thank you.
On the question asked by Mr. Kieyune, I think you have heard it said repeatedly by many government officials that come 2026, the identification and verification of voters at every polling station, or a voter at every polling station, is going to be mandatory, biometric mandatory. It is going to be mandatory identification, biometric identification and verification of a voter before you are given a ballot paper. I think the Minister of Justice recently also addressed the press, if I recall, who were at Lubowa, site, our new home, the site for our new home rather, where he indicated that the law regarding the mandatory use of biometrics in the identification, the verification process is in the offing. It's in the offing. In other words, it will soon be enacted or made. Currently, the law says the Electoral Commission may use technology. It's optional or it is discretional. But I think the thinking since then has evolved that we should make it mandatory. So wait, when the law is ready, we shall notify the country. Now, on the issues of internet, we are mindful of internet challenges that may be here and there. And I want to assure the people that we are always adequately prepared to face the internet challenges that may arise. We don't wait for them to arise and then we look for solutions. No, that one should not worry you or anybody, that our work will be disrupted or interrupted by inconsistent network coverage. So the same goes for back-end user, whatever, who will host us. We are prepared for any eventuality. We are prepared for that. In our planning, we take into account all those exigencies and we make sure that we have a system that will enable us to seamlessly conduct our elections and transmit the results within the required time so that the results can be published and declared in accordance with the law. Richard, you know, if you look at the original program or period for the nominations of all local government elective positions, it was, I think, between 2nd or 3rd of September to 12th September, a period of about 10 days. Since the roadmap is not static, it is subject to review by the Commission as and when we feel it necessary. When we looked at the various categories for local government, we realized, one, the original schedule was very omnibus, that the district chairpersons or mayors, sub-county or town chairpersons, councillors were all lumped together to come for nomination in that period of 2nd or 3rd September to 12th September. So we felt we should make it a little bit smarter and say, you category of elect aspirants who are vying for district chairperson or mayor, city mayor, and councillors for the city or district, you come for this period. Then the category of those who are vying for town council, sub-county chairpersons and councillors, you come on this period. We thought that is smarter, other than having everybody turning up at the nomination center. And also when we looked at the period was, there were very few days. And you remember those positions are so many. for all those active positions in the districts. There are so many. And if you look at the adjustment, now the adjustment goes on up to around 24th of September, taking about 3 weeks. So in that regard, therefore, we realized that the original program was too ambitious and may not realistically enable us to do a good job in nominating people appropriately. And thirdly, the period for nomination of parliamentary candidates had been scheduled for 16th and 17th of September. And mind you, parliamentary candidates are nominated at the district level, district returning officers' premises. Then the period which we have adjusted for local government so covers that period of 16th and 17th of September. So we did not want to have MPs coming up for nomination, then the same day you have councillors coming up for nomination. No, it will cause a lot of confusion and a lot of, some bit of commotion. So that's why we said, so since the nominations for local government are covering the period from around 3rd to 24th of September, then we have inevitably to push forward the nominations for members of parliament to the 15th and 16th of October, so that they are separate. That's the main reason. To me, actually, we are being smart in doing this by appropriately synchronizing the nominations category by category, category by category. So it's not because we are disorganized or we are not sure what we are doing, not at all. Richard, we are not. Now the amount for nominations, really, if you are vying for any elective office, you should know the criteria, you should know the requirements. They are spelled out in the law. You want to be a leader and then you don't know what the law prescribes for you to contest? They are there. Anyway, for presidential aspirants, 20 million. That has not changed. Then for district chairpersons, is it 500,000 or something? Then the others, the amount, but let them look at the law. But we are going to issue the guidelines. If they want all those details, we have said we are going to give them the guidelines, spelling out the amounts of money they are supposed to pay at nomination. And that money is not paid to the commission. It is paid in the bank. For us, what we are interested in, on the day of nomination, you come with all the requirements as spelled out in the law for you to qualify to get nominated. You must have proof or evidence that you have paid the nomination fees as required. So, but we are going to issue the guidelines which from Monday, and let all those who are vying for those positions acquaint themselves with that. But for the other positions where academic qualifications are not required, like councillors, we are going to be explaining to them in the local languages, using our district offices, using the media, the radios, the local radios in those areas. We shall be notifying those aspirants who are not required to present academic qualifications in order to contest, the amount of money required, what they are supposed to gather or to generate to support their candidature. Now, how long will the presidential aspirants take? I have said they begin picking the forms from Monday, 11th August. We would like, and let me emphasize, we would like the presidential aspirants to return these forms with the names and signatures of their supporters at least 2 weeks to the nomination period, nomination days. Now when you calculate or tabulate, 2 weeks is around 10th of September. So they have about a month from 11th August to about 10th September. If you are a serious presidential aspirant who wants to lead this country, surely getting 100 supporters from each district does not require 3 months, even 2 weeks. No, you don't need all the time. So they have at least 1 month within which to pick the forms and get the signatures or names of the supporters. But I would advise them to start early. Start early so that you avoid last minute submission of your documents, maybe when we have about a week to nomination, when we have said, bring your forms with the names of your supporters at least 2 weeks to nomination, to give us time to verify your supporters. Maybe if you don't add up, you may maybe have some time to go and fill in the gaps, probably. But if you are late, too bad. We won't be able to, you won't have that opportunity. On retirees, or those who want to retire, by now they should have retired. Because the law says if you want to contest for parliament in particular, you should retire at least 90 days before nomination. So if you count from 15th October backwards, I think they are already out of time. For district chairpersons, I think it is about a month. I don't know whether those have time. For presidential, any time before nomination. Those who want to contest for presidential, they can retire or resign from the offices, public offices they are holding, even a day before nominations. Na abasebe ne banyabo twagala kwebaza bamawulire mwenna bazze olwaleero ensonga tuleese wano olwaleero